All right, what's up, everyone? Trevor here, and today we are back with another just me chatting to the camera. So, and I want to talk a little bit today about. I've worked with a lot of clients that their main goal was just to lose some weight, lose some body fat, and a lot of them come in just believing, yeah, I just need to maybe do more cardio, or I just need to exercise more and exercise harder a lot of times. And a lot of times, uh, it is the women who think that, even guys think they need they think they need to like just train harder, and women think they just need to do more cardio a lot of times. And one of the issues I see with women is a lot of times with the cardio, they think that everything needs to be turned into cardio. Lifting needs short rest breaks, that type of thing. But and then we talk and sit down and we talk about how it's not just exercise. Yes, we can do more. More movement is probably going to be beneficial to most of the people. A lot of people come in just lazy, haven't done anything, just sit on the couch or getting 3,000 steps, if that, a day or whatever. They sit all day at work. They're not very active. So yes, that can be a big part of it. But then we talk more and dive into the goals and really figure out that the number one things they need to do are get some more sleep and eat and better nutrition. And we're going to focus on the nutrition part in this video. And I want to talk about how, like, most of these people, they know they think it's just about more like cardio and eating less. And a lot of times they come in, I've worked with many people that have come in and they're eating nothing. They're eating like 1,000 calories and not eating much protein at all, and not eating any carbs because carbs are bad for you. No, they're not. And or they've tried all these fad diets, and maybe they have lost some weight and things like that, or body fat, and shed some of those pounds, but they stall out, they plateau, and then they get stuck. They're struggling. They're, what do I do now? Then they try and eat less and less and less, and a lot of times it's this chronic dieting, it's this chronic caloric restriction, caloric deficit, being in that for so long and so little, and it's that that their metabolism shuts down or lowers and gets used to that lower caloric intake, and they think that, oh, I just need to cut back more and more, and they're not eating anything. Like 1,500 calories, that's probably way too low for most people. 1,200 calories, way too low. 1,000, 800. I had a lady who was eating 800 calories. She was working with a nutritionist too, or a dietitian. I don't know what it was. Some program that gets free from like her insurance covers it. I don't remember what the name of it was, but this nutritionist or dietitian, whatever this person was prescribing her like 1,000 calories a day, no carbs, and I mean, not very much protein either. And she's starting to get active. She's starting to train again. And this dietitian supposedly knew this. So again, you can't just, that's why I meet with people. I figure out where they're at. We don't just jump into a caloric deficit and start taking things away. For certain people, yeah, maybe there are certain situations. But again, a lot of times these people come in and just wonder why they can't lose weight or lose body fat because they've been eating at a caloric restriction for so long. And a lot of times they're not actually eating a deficit because they're not tracking their food. They're randomly snacking, grabbing a handful of almonds, or just eating junk food all the time and snacking all the time, and they're not really tracking their calories. That's a majority of it. Yes, that happens a lot. But also, I find that people are coming in eating in deficits, but they're doing it for so long, and they're just not eating enough. Their deficits are so low, and they're doing it for so long that it just ruins their metabolism. So their metabolism is super slow, ruins their hormones. They're stressed out because they're always chronically dieting, and they can't lose the weight. Then they don't sleep. Then they just try to exercise it off, and this just becomes a big issue and just one jumbled mess that we got to untangle and kind of weave in and out and figure out where to go. And a lot of times it is people are so focused on the amount of calories and restricting, and I don't think you need to do that right away. I think the first step is to focus on the quality of calories, those whole nutrient dense real foods, getting enough protein, getting enough good carbs, getting enough good fats, and just switching up that and switching up habits and start eating more real food. And you start eating more and you start feeling better, and you don't really notice that, oh, I'm eating more, but you are eating more because you're feeling full. You're providing your body the nutrients it wants and needs. And you don't we don't look at these types of things. We think, oh, it's just calories. It's just, oh, look at the back of the package. It's got 100 calories, so it's got to be perfect. Less and less calories. No, let's not just focus on less and less calories. Let's focus on quality of calories first. And when we want to start working on calories, and these people who I like the lady I'm working with and trying to get her off the mindset of less and less and less calories and start actually, you can call it a reverse diet or whatever, and build those calories back up and start adding calories, not jumping right from, if they're coming in eating 800 or 1,000 calories, jumping up to 2,000 calories right away, but building up from to 1,500 to 1,700, then to 2,000, and then over whatever you find is going to work, because you're building up and adding in more food and helping build back up that metabolism, ramp up that metabolism by eating more and more quality food and getting that so-called your engine revving up again and speeding up your metabolism. That's how you're going to speed up your metabolism, not by chronic dieting. That's what kills it and crushes it. So building back up that metabolism with like a reverse diet. And a lot of times it is hard, especially for women because they always seem to think that it's just less and less and less with eating. It's just that chronic dieting culture that's out there, the calories and things like that, where it's got to be less and less to be skinny. And I mean, I can't tell ladies what to think, or even men sometimes. They think they gotta cut so much, and eat so little. When in truth, you're gonna feel a lot better. You're gonna make a lot better progress if you're still eating a good amount and able to, if your goal is to lose fat and lose weight, is to do that. And don't you want to eat as much as possible while still losing weight? I think that's a good thing to have. I know that's what, if I'm trying to lose weight, I want to eat as much as possible and still do it. And so I think a good way to do that is build back up with that reverse diet. So you're gradually adding calories. And again, that could be, you want to have, like, protein is going to be relatively stay the same, and then adjust carbs and fats based on needs and dietary preferences and goals and things like that. But we're gradually ramping up those calories till we get to a good solid point. And yes, they might add a little weight here, but a lot of times they're not going to. A lot of times I found that they actually lose weight because, again, or maintain weight and build some muscle because they're eating more quality, and providing their body the nutrients it wants that it's not getting when they're restricting all the time and just eating nothing. And like a lot of times they skip meals and are not eating much at all, and it's not what we want. So ultimately, you want to be healthy and longevity and building healthy habits and building back up and ramping up that metabolism and getting things functioning properly again. That's when you're gonna probably start losing weight and feeling better in this process of the reverse diet and building back up. So then it's but a lot, like I was mentioning, it's a lot of times the mindset. They're so scared of eating more because they think that just means weight gain. And like I said, yes, it could be a little weight gain, but it's probably not going to be body fat. A lot of times it's going to be muscle, just because they haven't eaten enough in a while. They've been restricting for so long that they don't eat enough. They're not giving their body the nutrients, the macro and the micro nutrients, the vitamins, the minerals that it needs and wants to function, especially for fat loss. And they start eating and they start feeling better. And it's like, oh, wow, I'm eating more. I'm moving a little bit more. I'm exercising more. And then what happens? You feel better. You start sleeping better. You're in a better mood. You're not in that dieting, hangry, mad at the world attitude or mood that if you've dieted, you've probably been there. And I don't like using the word diet because diet is what you eat, no matter whether you're trying to gain weight, lose weight, build muscle, whatever. But that deficit when you're restricting your calories and you're angry all the time, mad, and little things that get you moody. But all these little things that you notice, and it's like, oh, I'm eating more, I'm feeling better, I'm sleeping better, I'm moving better. My workouts, I have more energy, I'm lifting more weights, I'm running, I'm sprinting faster, I'm jumping higher. That's because you're fueling your body. And wow, what do you know? Then your body, you started adding muscle. And maybe the pounds aren't necessarily different, but you notice, oh, I look better. Look in the mirror, my measurements are better. I can see a bicep, or I can see a vein, or whatever it may be, whatever you're looking for. And it's the slow ramping up with that reverse diet, I think, with these chronic dieters who are always restriction, low calories, 1,200, 1,000, 1,500. They're doing that forever, and they wonder why their metabolism is slow. They blame it on old age. Yes, it can. Old age might have something to do with it. They blame it on, oh, I'm a woman or whatever. No, it's because you're not eating anything. That's why. It's because you're restricting for too long and you're not doing it right. And we build back up. We start adding in more food. You start feeling better, moving better. And then energy's up. Then voila, we find a new kind of maintenance calories, or even a surplus calories, or maintenance calories, where then we can play from there. We do that for a while. We're eating at so say they're coming in eating at 1,000 calories. We build them up to like 2,200 calories or something like that. And they're thinking that's going to be a struggle. Oh, I can't imagine eating that much protein and that many carbs, or that many grams of fat, or that many calories in all, because that's scary. That just means I'm going to get fat. When in turn, it's actually going to help. But it takes a lot of convincing, and it's not just a jump from 1,000 to 2,000 calories right away. It is a gradual build to get them on track, get their body feeling better. Because a lot of times, yeah, if you jump for that much, things aren't going to go right. You get kind of, I don't know, a lot of times it's get clogged up too much too soon. Same with training. You don't jump into doing 5 sets of 10. No, we're going hypertrophy cluster. We're not jumping right into hypertrophy cluster. We're not going 8x5 your first day of training. You've never trained before of 300 pounds on a squat. You probably can't even lift 300 pounds, let alone 8 sets of 5. So you're crushing yourself. So again, you don't want to do too much too soon with the training. Same with the diet, the nutrition. So it's not just a jump from 1,000 to 2,000. It's that gradual build to let the body get used to and build and get accustomed. So maybe it's a couple of weeks at each per time, and it's going to adjust depending on the person. But it's not, again, just making these huge jumps. It's gradually building, and then once we find that a good solid number, we stay there for a little bit, and then that's when, after we do that, then that's when we can start maybe cutting back a few calories and not jumping back down to 1,500. Maybe now we built up to like 2,200 calories is like our new maintenance level of calories. Then we're going to we'll cut back down to 2,000. And then you start just shedding the pounds or whatnot. And you're like, what? Why didn't I do this before? And again, it's not overnight. It's not magic. This takes time because we have to rebuild and refuel and get your body back to homeostasis or normal, and where your body really wants to be. Your body doesn't want to be restricting in a deficit all the time. That's just natural way of life. Our body wants to be in a homeostasis and build to that homeostasis state. So a lot of times when these chronic undereaters come in, that's what I want. That's what I try to do with them. But again, well, the toughest thing is to get them convinced that it will work, and it takes a long time for some people to believe. And a lot of times I use, well, if it doesn't work, you can go back to your old way of restricting, which obviously hasn't worked for you. So you can go back. You can always go back there. That's totally fine. You can go back to your fad diets that weren't working for you. Again, but I think this is going to be a good way. And then a lot of times that will work, but sometimes it doesn't. So sometimes it just takes time, and then, or sometimes it might just be, oh well, you can continue doing it the way you are, and then they still aren't seeing progress, and it's like, well, why don't we try this? And then again, it just takes time. Everyone's going to be different, but I think that is huge for these chronic undereaters, is working back up and reverse dieting and building back up to. That's why that's probably, so if you're someone who think your metabolism is super slow, that is probably one of the reasons why. It's probably because you're not eating enough. So eat more, move a little bit more, eat better quality food. That's the real start, is just eat better quality food. Quality calories, make your calories count, not just counting your calories, as Dolce would say. But then you start eating more good food, you start feeling better, and it's like, oh, I'm losing. You can start eating more and lose weight. I've seen it. I've done it myself, where I'm eating more and I'm losing weight. So it's not, yes, calories in versus calories out, everyone will tell you, but that's not all the time. Bodies are weird. Our bodies are a weird thing. They adapt, they change, they get accustomed to different things, different events, stresses, traumas, whatever, and all our bodies are going to react a little bit differently to different things. So it's experimentation, exploration. It's not quick fixing, because that stuff doesn't work. It's building quality nutrition habits. Starts with quality calories, eating quality food, whole nutrient, real food, foods from earth, foods from animals, and then adjusting there. But I think a lot of times with these crash metabolism, these slow metabolisms, it usually comes from chronic stress, from always under eating and trying to diet all the time, never eating at maintenance, never eating in a surplus, never trying to build muscle. It's just that chronic, just beating down the body and stressing out not only your digestive system, but your nervous system, all the systems of the body, through that stress of not eating enough. And then you wonder why, I lost weight for a while, and now I can't. Now I'm just still fat, but I can't lose any more weight. That's a lot of times that might be the reason why. So again, can kind of build up slow with that reverse diet, eating good quality foods, and you might even lose weight during that. You might build muscle. You'll probably build some muscle during that. And then once you get that, your metabolism ramps up and you're feeling better, you're moving better, your mood's better, all these good things that we want in a healthy life. Then you can start playing around and dialing in. But this is going to take time. It's not, do it for a week and then start restricting again. No, it's not how it works. But again, I think that is a key, can be a big helpful thing for if you're working with a lot of under-eating people, chronic dieters, or you are a chronic dieter, you're wondering why your metabolism's so slow. Look at how much you're eating, and are you eating enough for the amount of activity you're doing, your basal metabolic rate, and all this different stuff. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help. If you want to talk about it, if you want to chat, reach out, send me a message, email me, trevor@tagpn.com. We'll jump on a call, see if it's a good fit. That's what I do with my one-on-one coaching, even my my group coaching, we dive into it, not necessarily specifically for each person, but we'll dive into these topics deeper. But with my one-on-one, we'll dive into that topic for you and help you get you on a plan, not just training, not just habits, but nutrition, and figure out maybe we need to build up these calories and work up and help boost up that metabolism with the reverse diet. And then once that's all good, we get that all good, you're feeling good, moving good, then we go from there. Then we can figure out, dial in that fat loss, if that's one of your goals. So metabolism slow, let me know, reach out, we'll talk and see if we can come up with a plan and see if we're a good fit working together. So I know I can help you with that, but you gotta want it. You gotta want to work on it. So that's what I have for you today, guys. Thanks for watching, and we will talk to you again soon. Have a great night or day or morning, whenever you're watching this. Thanks for watching.